Hello, in this second video of the Leon's BK Tips series, I'll discuss intros and fill-ins. As usual, in this video, I will demonstrate these features with an example song, and I will provide downloads for both the sheet music arranged for the BK7M, as well as the complete BK orchestration in the form of a performance list, which contains a collection of performance memories. You can load the performance list into your own BK and play the song using all of my orchestration selections already prepared for you. You will find links for these downloads in the text description section of this video on YouTube. After explaining the intro and fill-in features, and after walking you through the sheet music, I will play the song, showing the front panel of the BK so you can see the various BK features activate as I play. I will also show myself playing on the V-Accordion, as well as pedal action on my BK's FC7 pedal unit. You are probably already familiar with the fact that if I press the intro button before I start playing, the BK will play an introduction to the song before playing the regular auto accompaniment. There are 4 intros for each rhythm style, 1 for each of the style variations. Let me demonstrate using style variation 1. Notice that the intro button remained lit during the time that the intro was playing, and then turned itself off when the intro was done, at which point the BK continued by playing the regular auto accompaniment corresponding to style variation 1. But what if I wanted to use style variation 1 in my song as before, but I'd prefer that the BK play the intro belonging to style variation 3? That is, what if I want to mix and match style variations and intros? Let me press the intro button as before, only this time before starting I will press the style variation 3 button. Look what happens. The variation 3 button lights solid, and the variation 1 button now is blinking. What this means is style variation 1 is temporarily on standby. The BK will play the intro belonging to variation 3, and when it is done, it will switch immediately back to the auto accompaniment of variation 1. Watch. This intro was longer and more embellished, and that might be a reason why I would like to use it. It's important to note that if I were to save my starting point, like this, is as a performance memory, the BK will remember to turn on the intro feature, but it will not remember to play the intro of style variation 3. I need to activate that myself every time I recall a song from a performance memory. I'll show you how I remember to do that shortly. But intros are not just for the beginning of a song. As is pointed out in the BK user manual, an intro can be activated at any time. For example, suppose I'm playing along using style variation 4, and then suppose that right in the middle of my song I activate the intro feature. You see, the intro of style variation 4 plays, and then the BK returns to the regular auto accompaniment. I can use this effect to create interesting extended transitions between different sections of a song. But in most live band performances, after such a transition, they add variety to the rhythm pattern, and they make voice changes to lead instruments. To properly recreate that effect on the BK, I need to simultaneously activate the intro, a new style variation, and some treble voice changes. I cannot accomplish all that manually while at the same time playing my accordion. So I use the BK's Performance Next feature, as you will see in this video's example song. The second BK feature that I wish to point out in this video is the interactive fill-in. Suppose I'm playing along in Variation 4, and at a certain time I press the Variation 4 button. Of course, I don't expect the BK to change style variations. It's already playing style variation 4. But listen to what it does. You see, the BK plays a fill-in or riff. The complexity of the fill-in depends on the selected auto accompaniment style, as well as the active style variation. Some accompaniment styles have complex, often jazzy fill-ins. Others, like the one I'm currently using, play more conservative ones. Still, as you will see later, even a conservative fill-in can add amazing realism to the BK's accompaniment. In this video, I will demonstrate this with the example song called Liebestraum. It was written by the famous Franz Liszt of the 19th century. It's quite romantic sounding, and it plays at an easy tempo, thus allowing viewers of all levels to play it, and in the process, realize some orchestration techniques on the BK7M. To make your BK play the complete orchestration of Liebestraum exactly as mine does, use your computer to copy the downloaded performance list file that I provide in the text description section of this video to the My Performances folder of a USB memory stick that you have previously formatted on your BK. Then plug that stick into your BK, press the performance list button, and pick the list called Liebestraum. You see, it's an extensive orchestration consisting of 17 performance memories. But as I just said, it's actually quite easy to play. My sheet music identifies the performance memory Liebestraum 1.1 for starting the song. Why did I use this two-number notation, you ask? You'll see soon. Notice my notation PN for the BK's Performance Next feature and SV1 through SV4 for style variations 1 through 4. The idea is for you to activate these features at the points they appear in the sheet music. An important reminder that I placed at the top of the sheet music is to activate style variation 3 before I start to play. The reason is the Liebestraum 1.1 performance memory specifies style variation 2 for the auto accompaniment. But I want the BK to play the intro of style variation 3. As I explained earlier, a performance memory will not save this information, so I need to activate style variation 3 myself before I start to play. Performance memory Liebestraum 1.1 activates the sync start feature. So, to begin playing, all I need to do is press a chord button, which I show in the first measure. This causes the BK to begin playing Intro 3, which consists of 8 measures. How did I know it would be 8 measures? Well, when the BK starts in response to me pressing the C chord, it provides a measure and beat countdown for the intro in the upper left corner of the liquid crystal display, or LCD. This countdown not only tells me how many measures the intro consists of, it also helps me synchronize myself to the accompaniment so that I start playing my part at the appropriate time, which in this case is the last beat of the 8th measure of the intro. This first note is a pickup note, which is why I have placed it within the last measure of the intro. You will notice when I play that the Liebestrom 1.1 performance memory specifies as a treble voice alto sax soft to be played by UP1. At the first beat of measure 11, I specify two actions at once, a chord change from C to E7 and a pedal push to activate style variation 2. Because the Liebestrom 1.1 performance memory already activated style variation 2, then activating it again at this time will cause the BK to play a fill-in. I do this to add variety to the auto accompaniment. You will notice that the fill-in is very subtle, but I feel effective. It blends in very nicely at this particular point in the melody. A common orchestration technique is to make a piece of music sound like a conversation between two parties. And one way to do this is by playing alternate phrases of a melody using different instruments having slightly different sonic quality. I wanted to achieve this effect in my orchestration of Liebestrom. In measure 16, beat 3, I specify activating the Performance Next feature, incrementing from Liebestrom 1.1 to Liebestrom 1.2. In so doing, the BK turns on UP2 and plays choir and strings. It plays this along with the alto sax soft on UP1. That is, it layers UP1 and UP2 together, producing a noticeably different and more embellished sound. Then, in measure 20, third beat, after completing another phrase of the melody, I increment to performance memory Liebestrom 1.3, which turns off UP2, leaving UP1 to play its alto sax soft alone, as it was before. This back and forth action produces the conversational effect I was looking for. I use this technique throughout my arrangement. Moving forward in the sheet music, in measure 53, I specify activating the Performance Next feature, incrementing from performance memory Liebestrom 1.8 to Liebestrom 2.1. The reason for my notational change of the first number from 1 to 2 is to remind myself that I'm changing between two sections of the music, between which the BK will play an extended transition. This notation helps remind me that I should stop playing and wait for the BK to complete its transition. I find this especially helpful when playing from memory without the benefit of sheet music. In response to this Performance Next, the BK changes the treble tone to N tenor sax, which is one of the BK's so-called supernatural tones. This Performance Next also changes the style variation from 2 to 4, and of course it turns on the intro feature, thus activating the extended transition, which in this case consists of 16 measures. As you play the piece beyond this point, you will realize that it consists of a repeat of the first 52 measures, except played in a different key, and with several accompaniment and treble voice changes. There's just one last thing I'd like to mention. At the very end, in measure 120, in order to make it sound exactly as I do, it is important to activate the style variation on beat 1 and the ending on beat 3.